When you've got a player like Ja Morant on the court, you know something wild is about to go down. Last night's matchup between the Memphis Grizzlies and the Dallas Mavericks was one for the books. We saw swagger, insane plays, and an underdog stepping up in a big way. But did Morant back up his trash talk, or did the Mavericks' unlikely hero steal the spotlight? Let's break it all down. From the opening tip, Ja Morant was on a mission. He wasted no time attacking the basket, slipping past defenders for an easy layup. But hold up, Dallas wasn't just gonna roll over. Klay Thompson, the veteran sharpshooter, responded immediately with a cold-blooded fadeaway jumper. Dallas kept pace early, refusing to let Memphis control the game. A quick 9-3 run had the Mavericks leading 18-15, with Najee Marshall contributing 6 points. But the real story? Brandon Williams, the undrafted kid who showed zero fear. He dropped 8 points on a perfect 3 of 3 shooting start, while Morant, he was struggling. 7 straight misses, 1 for 8 from the field. Yikes. That slow start gave Dallas an opening, and they took full advantage. Meanwhile, Spencer Dinwiddie came off the bench with a fire in his eyes, helping Dallas close the quarter ahead, 31-22. A 9-point lead? Not bad for a team missing key players. Memphis knew they had to respond, and they came out swinging. Rookie big man Zach Edey turned into a rebounding machine, grabbing 3 boards in one play. Desmond Bane, one of the best shooters in the league, dropped 5 straight points, slicing Dallas's lead down to 6. But the Mavericks weren't done. They hustled for every loose ball, scrapped for every rebound, and forced a Memphis timeout after another big 3 from Brandon Williams. This kid was ballin', 15 points already, and we weren't even at halftime. Then finally Morant woke up. He hit back-to-back buckets, igniting the Memphis bench. But just when things were heating up, Morant took a brutal fall after running into a Dwight Powell screen. He was frustrated, looking for a foul, but the refs weren't giving him anything. And on the very next play, Klay Thompson's defensive lapse let Scottie Pippen Jr. sneak in for an easy 2. Just like that, Dallas's lead was cut to 3 at the break, 53-50. After halftime, Memphis came out looking like a different team. A quick 9-2 run had them snatching the lead. Morant was cooking now, throwing an alley-oop to Edey, then flexing on the Mavericks after a tough drive. And of course, he couldn't resist. It was time for the too small gesture. Classic Ja. But guess what? Dallas wasn't fazed. Brandon Williams was still in his bag, racking up 20 points. Najee Marshall was right there with him, also hitting the 20-point mark. The Mavericks had an answer for everything. Frustration started setting in for Morant, who was begging the refs for a foul. Meanwhile, Najee Marshall took over, scoring 7 straight points and putting Dallas back up by 5. The game was getting physical. Marshall even took a nasty knee-to-knee hit, forcing him to limp off briefly. With under 2 minutes left, Max Christie buried a deep 3, and Caleb Martin followed up with a ridiculous reverse layup. Then, at the buzzer, bang! Dante Exum drilled a clutch 3, sending the Dallas crowd into a frenzy. The Mavericks were up 94-89, heading into the final quarter. The fourth quarter was straight-up playoff intensity. Dallas clung to a 3-point lead after a clutch Klay Thompson triple, 103-100. Meanwhile, Brandon Williams wasn't done. He reached a career-high 28 points. But then, Morant did what Morant does. He checked back in and took over. First, a jaw-dropping reverse layup. Then, another fearless drive, putting Memphis up 108-107. Desmond Bane added a dagger 3-pointer, giving the Grizzlies a 5-point cushion, 113-108. And with time winding down, Brandon Clark sealed the deal with a tough inside finish. That was all she wrote. Memphis escaped with the win, 20 points from Morant, and a whole lot of highlights. Ja Morant showed out, but let's give some respect to Brandon Williams. This undrafted guy went toe-to-toe with one of the best players in the league and nearly led Dallas to a huge win. The Mavericks may have lost, but they proved they've got serious fight. And for Memphis, Morant's leadership and Bane's clutch shooting made the difference. They can't afford slow starts like this in the playoffs, but when they lock in, they're dangerous. What do you think? Did Morant back up his trash talk? And is Brandon Williams a hidden gem for Dallas? Let's hear your takes in the comments. And hey, if you love intense NBA matchups like this, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any more fire content. Stay tuned for more epic basketball breakdowns.